It's Week 7 of the 2022 season, and we'll see a measuring stick for two of the league's best. It's the Texans and the Raiders, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Houston Texans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. That is the Raiders take over on offense. We get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now a play fake. Carr. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans. On their side of midfield at the 47. They go play action. Mills. He's got a man. Complete. A huge play there for Houston. 48 yards. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, out of my way, and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
On play action, Mills. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Second down and goal. Mills. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Play action now, Mills. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now Mills on fourth down. Open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are on the board first here in Vegas. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
Here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. After 1-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. Carr finding Waller there for the Vegas first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Carr. Steps away. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The spotlighting Brandon Cooks. That's really been a blistering start to the season for. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want to. So how do you cover him?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Balls thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. Off the play fake, Mills. This is caught. It's Cooks. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks. touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing now is Carr. He's got a man up. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Brandon Cooks trots back onto the field with the rest of this Texan offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
It's caught left side by Cooks. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play fake, Mills. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Jordan Akins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 2nd and 2, Carr quickly into the hands of Waller. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The final shot here before half for Carr. And he'll look downfield for Waller. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A first down throw for Mills. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks with career touchdown number 60. And the Texans come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
That's good for Las Vegas.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. First down, Mills. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. Mills now. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Gets this to Cooks for yet another catch. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this fourth quarter. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Carr. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Talk about two sides of the ball cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return. And the Texans will take over. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral.
That's caught inside the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Meanwhile, Carr's throw pulled in by Renfro. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
13 yards on the play.
One final try now for Carr. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Texans, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.